Whoa, no guns.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's a display of violence. That's not why we're here.
Unless
That's why I'm here for some violence.
Yes, you're here.
I'm gonna fight someone.
Here to orchestrate some issues. That's like the professional way of saying causing a ruckus. We're here to orchestrate some issues.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. I like
we
that.
ever make a formal episode, like us in suits, we're orchestrating some
That'd
issues.
be a cool T-shirt design. Would you
Orchestrate some
would
issues.
have the
Conductor.
what are the things in their
Wands.
hands? Are they wands?
I don't know, but they should be.
Uh,
Chopsticks.
oh, like
Dildos.
Let's find out.
If they're called something.
if you could call it, what do you think it's called? Conductor stick.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. They're pretty small, right?
You can call them nipples.
Like
Really long nipples.
I think they're the same size as like chopsticks.
Oh!
They are ones.
Let's hear what you think they are. They're spoilers.
so.
they're
There's a
not
name.
ones.
They have a name for it.
Yes.
Guantanamo.
Prison. What's your final guess?
Final. Your first thing you cut off.
Yeah.
Dude,
no, you're
unless
dead.
he wants to be a millionaire.
Yeah, you're dead.
Is it A?
I'm gonna say like they're little batons.
It is baton.
Nice.
It's baton, and I would not have guessed baton.
Wow, I thought that was gonna be such a stupid.
No, it
It
is.
is a stupid answer.
It is.
It's correct.
Wow.
But it was a stupid process the whole time. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Fuck, I think I'm gonna live off that high forever. I think.
A baton is a thin,
Next
tapered
time you
stick.
go to work, when you're riding the elevator up, you gotta do like one of those like
Wait, how many people ride elevators to work? I'm curious because
Wait, you ride the elevator
to work. I wish. Actually, I think I would dislike that. A lot.
yo, so is
You'd always be late.
a vertical elevator just like those things at the airport?
The escalator?
Is it an escalator? I thought escalators had to go up and down floors.
Yeah, because you escalate.
Well, don't elevators go up and down floors?
No, the elevator
Conveyor?
is vertical. Oh, sorry, it's horizontal.
Oh, the things at the airport. Oh.
Is that
Are
conveyor?
those just
Is that a
horizontal?
subway?
No, they have those there too, but
No,
like, what are
those-
you getting a subway like a sub for? I'm talking about the thing you stand on.
You're talking about the conveyor belt. Because we're like the groceries
Yeah,
of the
but
airport.
would an elevator,
Right, like the
an elevator version of the conveyor belt would be a subway.
No, what does this do with food, man?
Yeah.
I hate you.
Talking
The
about
escalator is the one you go up. The conveyor is where
no, I get
you either put the people or the groceries on. Both. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is a conveyor.
So
I
what do
guess.
you call the ones where it's rollies and it doesn't do itself? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's the
The
same.
tank-
Where you like throw someone and then it rolls? They're like manual conveyors.
It could have been. It didn't have to be a person.
Huh? Wait.
I don't know why.
How do I throw
I
people
was thinking
on
of the airport. Like how
Are you still throwing people on?
You
The
could
sorting-
run, it would be like a slip and slide. You run and dive on it and get to your terminal or whatever.
That's true.
You're talking about like the sorting conveyor belts, like use like facility, like career facilities and stuff.
They
Sure.
they use those.
But they're not automated. Like they just have.
I immediately think of back in the day when Metro, especially at
Metro!
Medical Town Center,
Like Metro
had
Boomin'?
the- you know when you could order your thing and then they deliver it to you downstairs. You drive up and they like you put. Did you never do this? Medical Town Center, the Metro. It probably still. It's probably no. They probably took it out now. There was a little conveyor thing with the wheelies, and you could put your groceries in the bins, and you would wheel it down this thing. Then you drive to the little doors down at the end of Metro, and then someone would have your order and load it into your car for you. It was the coolest shit ever. I fucking loved it as a kid.
I don't think I've ever shopped at that Metro in my life.
Dominion
That's the
before, right?
Yes.
Was it the service?
It was
Well,
Dominion. It was Dominion.
Not when it was Metro.
I don't.
'Cause
It was
I
still in there as Metro, but I don't think.
Because
they-
I literally moved like the day I remember like the moving day I moved in was the day they were putting up the Metro sign as like it was switching to.
So it was your
Dominion.
fault.
Yeah.
It was.
We removed that service.
Yeah,
We
there
removed
are
that service. We
foolish
complained.
things at Metro
Crazy.
or Dominion, whatever it was before.
Not Domino's.
Yeah. Would you say you were addicted to it? To the rolly experience?
I was addicted to it. I couldn't get enough of those rollies.
What?
The beer store ones are still like every time. Like
Oh,
we're
how did you
drinking,
not even think of the beer
there you
store?
go.
That's like the
I
best
just
thing
I
in the
just
world.
like you gotta tap it.
Now, when you're doing those, we're not even on the topic yet, really. But I hate when I see people don't utilize the entire rollie. Well, they'll like walk up halfway and then put on. Nah, man, I'm putting that shit on right at the end, and I'm wheeling that shit.
Do you
down.
sit on it while you push it?
Sit on what?
Like you bring a dildo in with your bottles of beer?
You don't?
You don't use the bottles?
Shut up.
It's actually how the guy counts and takes the beer bottles. Like 1, 2.
Look, this one's got a little.
Oh, hey, no cans in here. No cans in here.
Now that's an addiction.
that's an
So would
addiction.
you guys say is there anything you'd say in your life right now that you have an addiction to?
Oh, I would say, yeah. Like currently, I have a bit of a caffeine addiction, which I think.
Do you? Really?
I think caffeine addiction is one of the most common addictions right now in if we're talking like Western civilization.
Yep.
Huge.
I think that's fair.
I agree. I would say
Jiu-jitsu.
maybe I don't have. No, I wouldn't yet. I don't think I have it yet, but I'm dangerously close on a sugar addiction.
I think that's also fair to say.
I think
that
a
a
food
lot of
addiction.
people have.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the dark horses that so many people have, but like no one talks about it.
I think food addictions in general, or people like have no willpower for food.
I think too with the sugar when it goes under the radar because caffeine. I think people are more aware of it because I think the lack of it has less of a or more of an impact than when you start to neutralize a sugar addiction.
Definitely.
Like it's not the crashes. So people, I think it's talked about just more or less.
And I could honestly before Christmas, I was so good. I was like on point. Like sugar wasn't really in my diet, and if I had sugar, no more than like maybe 30 grams a day. Soon as Christmas came around, like the middle of December, Christmas cookies start coming around. People bring treats. I'm so fucked now.
Your Christmas cookies just coming around?
Do yours come in like a straight line?
Yeah.
Oh no, mine around.
Is that the icing?
How about you? What's your addiction right now? Video games?
Yeah, I'd say borderline.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I
an addiction.
yeah, because it's one of those things that it's especially when there's new games coming out. Funny enough, like Inkbound for me right now is that it's like I'm like that's all I want to do when I have free time. It's like this new game's coming out. I just want to experience it and play what it is. It's one thing though that I think if I had to, and I don't know what would drive to be like I have to, I could cut it like cold turkey cut it. But because there's no like, I guess repercussions to like if I didn't stop fully, that I just like, I'd say I'm like very borderline.
Yeah, see that's the thing. I think I can cut sugar pretty easily.
I feel like there's so much stuff that has sugar though.
I think I could reduce
everything.
it to a very manageable point. The hard part though is there's just still so much sugar in the house and I don't want to waste the food. So I'm like, okay, I just gotta get through this and then I'm good. But then people just keep showing up and they're like, hey Lee, here's some donuts. Hey, I got you some cookies. I'm like, fuck off guys, I'm so close to being done.
I just hope that we get to a point that because you see more accessibility to like those like the alcohol sugars, like the ones that aren't like true sugars. That I think we'll get to a point where one day like a lot of grocery stores will be a lot of just non-refined sugar stuff because they'll try to incorporate that stuff so heavily.
That'd be great.
And they're making it better, taste better and better
more
all the time.
expensive?
Well, I think I'm willing to pay a premium sometimes.
Like double the price?
Even what if it's 33% or a third or a quarter more?
Quarter more,
Okay.
I'd pay a quarter more.
I'm fine with it. I'm for
For healthier
Not
options.
a quarter. Sorry, not 25 cents. A quarter of the price.
Oh, that's crazy. What the hell?
But it's just crazy to me that whenever it comes to food product, that's always the case. But with pop, Zero or regular Coke cost the exact same price. But whenever it's like anything else that's a sweetener based product that's actually food rated, it's always dramatically higher in price. Now baked goods, it makes sense because they usually have to use almond flour instead of flour, so it's not just the sweetener that's being like substituted, but some other stuff where it's literally just the sweetener substitute. I'm like, why is theirs so expensive?
I don't know if you heard about there's some lawsuit, I think it's in the States, and I think it's Dunkin' Donuts. I don't remember, I could be wrong on that, but it's definitely in the States where someone's suing or they're passing a bill that says that places can't upcharge for dietary restrictions, i.e. like almond milk and gluten-free and things like that
good.
Can't be upcharged. So I wonder if sugar-free diets for diabetes maybe could be put on there so that now everything
it should. 100%.
If they start regulating like that though, I personally would go that route of like if you offered me, oh God, I'm gonna choose like the lamest example now, ketchup with like lower sugar in it for like condiments and stuff. I'll take that like 100% because it tastes no different to me than the regular stuff.
Something
Dude, that's like saying, oh, we don't have any chicken bites. We're just gonna have cauliflower bites today.
Terrible. And we're
I'm kidding. That snare was good.
And we're gonna brag about it too. That's the crazy.
Yeah, but
part.
see, chicken is not interchangeable because one is like heavy protein, the other one's not.
What if you just drizzled protein on it? On the cauliflower bites.
I got so excited. Why do we have stuff like that? Because we have protein powder. Why don't we have a powder additive you can add to your food that just adds like straight protein?
Just like a little seasoning jar.
I guess if you had
and
if
like
you had
what
unflavored protein
no,
powder,
what if
could
you had
do
chicken
that?
flavored protein that it was vegan friendly?
Yo, isn't that just your little packets from Mr. Noodles?
Like
Like
bouillon.
the chicken flavor that you
just sprinkle that as a protein.
So if you get unflavored protein powder and add a bunch of those chicken powder and mix it, you can have like a savory protein.
Yo,
how'd that cook?
Sprinkle on-
How'd that cook though?
Why don't we
Sprinkle
just
onto
that?
eggs and stuff when you're done.
That's not
That's
No, you
sounds
can't use it to cook because it'll clump. The
Yeah, that's
protein
what I'm
powder will
saying,
clump.
yeah. So
You
it
have
might
to
be
use it like
a
a
finished
seasoning
product.
after.
like a
eating chalk. It's crazy. For a while, like I've started getting into coffee, and I was like, you know what, like
Yeah.
I want to at least make it better for me. So I started making like
Why
protein
did you start?
coffees.
Was it Emmett?
No, it was before that. There was a couple days where I was like really tired. Like I was visiting my sister in Brantford, and it was like 1 in the morning, and it was time to come home. I was like, yo, that's like a 50-minute drive. Like I'm gonna pass out. So fuck it. Just out of the blue, I was like, I'm gonna get a coffee on the way. Never drank coffee before. I was like, I need to get a coffee on the way home because I want us to get home alive. And I had one sip, and I was like, it was a McDonald's iced coffee, and I was like, this shit is hype.
No, McDonald's iced coffee though is like not regular coffee.
I was like, but that's what got me. I was like, this is great. And then I was just like, fuck it. And then yes, Emmett came around, and I was like, fuck. Like I only drank it for safety reasons. Like if it was ever a long drive that I was like, I'm not gonna make.
Making excuses. This guy's addicted to coffee.
But then now it's just like well, it tastes.
Are you addicted to
Do
coffee
you,
now?
do you
No, I
think
don't think
people will support
I have
you?
coffee maybe like once every 2 days, 3 days.
Oh, okay.
You think people will support you knowing that you just said to keep your family safe, you had to take a substance to drive? That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
No,
That's disgusting
I
of you.
suppose.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
You might as well drink and drive at that
That's
point.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Takes your head
I need to take a booze to unwind so I can drive safer.
Is that not a valid argument?
Yeah, you gotta take a beer to unwind on the road,
Exactly.
obviously.
Yeah, then I was putting,
Especially if you
protein
do it on
powder in
high-
my coffees. And it was like not great, but at least I
Yeah,
felt better about
That
it.
doesn't sound good.
Imagine having coffee that was 12 grams of protein. It's fucking high.
Yeah,
I'm
that is
sure
good.
that's a thing.
There is something.
Well,
This
if
guy's-
it
this
tasted
guy's
anything
trying to
like
make
it,
but it's like
This
it's
guy's
like
trying to start a company.
it's like $4 per can though. It's like the Starbucks stuff is like that technically.
Jizz and
Oh no, sorry. I'm thinking more. Never mind. I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking like a cold brew.
Oh.
So sorry.
Not
So
protein.
okay. So you're not addicted to coffee yet.
I don't think I'm addicted to coffee.
You know what? I'm not addicted to coffee, but I'm addicted to caffeine.
What
I
else
don't
do you-
like the taste of coffee, but Coca-Cola, Coke Zero, caffeine, energy drinks sometimes, pre-workout. Like I get withdrawals when I don't take my daily pre-workout before my workout. Like,
Interesting.
Oh,
like I get like
coffee.
I feel the crash because I work out every day at like 2:30 p.m.
Wow.
So I feel at 2:30 p.m. like if I don't take a pre-workout, like I feel my body kind of like expecting it at that time, like almost Pavlov dog. So I have to like go off of it and take a tea break for 2 weeks and go on it again sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah, caffeine withdrawals are just annoying because I don't get the headache portion of it because I don't consume like that much.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get like the whole like fatigue. Like I'm like, oh, if I, coffee right now would fix this, but do I want to start
Yeah.
that cycle again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, when we were talking about topics to talk about, and you had brought up addictions, you mentioned good addictions.
Yeah, that's the next episode.
Okay.
Oh, actually.
See you
I
next one.
thought so.
Oh, we can do that on next one. That's fine. Because I was gonna. Okay.
Either or, we could do.
Well, I'll
right now.
follow up with then. What are your thoughts? Especially, I think it's a modern problem. I think it's a new problem that we're dealing with. Is porn addictions.
Yo, actually huge, and the.
Then no one
You
talks.
speaking to the number one.
Yeah,
addict.
yeah.
He's in rehab.
I didn't have to do research for this one topic. Actually, I have, but years of it. So, no,
It's a lot of field research.
it's actually a study has come out talking about what it does to younger generations. Like the younger you get into it, and the way it makes you affect your future relationships.
Definitely.
Is crazy. Porn addiction is a huge one, especially since it's like the internet is so sexualized that it makes almost anyone have the want to just go visit a porn site. Like you're watching lingerie ads, you're like, damn, like you get
Isn't it
aroused.
something like 70% of the internet is water? I mean, no, but like, isn't it something like 70% of the content on the internet is
You had
adult
said that.
content?
Oh,
you had said that
probably.
before, but I'm not surprised because even a lot of marketing in the early, like before the 2000s, a lot of marketing was sex. So even if it wasn't just porn alone, like
even now,
the sex that's
sex
around.
sells. Like, is that not like
100% it does. 100%.
100%. I think even like TikTok, Instagram, like all those models,
Yeah.
realistically, it just goes to show OnlyFans. The popularity of that and how well known OnlyFans is, like,
Yeah.
it just goes to show.
Well, then but still, you even see it in like in musicians and stuff. Like they'll put out a provocative music video, and they know goddamn well.
Tate McRae.
Tate McRae.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one who did like the Christina Aguilera homage. No.
I don't even know.
Someone did a music
didn't
video
know
that
she
was
a
similar
musician.
to Christina Aguilera's.
She looks
30?
like ish.
Yes.
The boxing one?
Yes.
I don't know which. I don't know the.
Well, Tate
one.
McRae has like the same face as Christina Aguilera. I guess.
She has her face.
Similar. She stole her face. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think porn addiction's a crazy one.
So what about not just? I don't know if you had found anything. That's not just impacting their relationships, but what about is there health impacts on the rest of their life outside of that?
So that was
I think
interesting.
it's a
Is
little
Emma and
bit
I were
later.
talking about it this afternoon, and she was saying that she read something about it. Watching pornography can destroy brain cells, which to me is very interesting because I can't imagine watching. How does watching anything? And I say that in a broad spectrum because I understand that there's probably some things that you watch that'll be harmful to you physically, but like
what?
flashing lights.
Like
You
the
know,
Kanye West music video?
Yes, that specifically that. But I mean, like, how does watching there has to be more to it. It has to be like watching it for a duration over.
That's
like, you know what I mean? Like, how does watching a video destroy brain cells? I can see it not evolving or like
I don't know.
promoting any growth, but how does anything destroy brain cells? Like,
Or
it didn't make
hinder
sense.
brain cell. Like,
Yeah, right.
that's an interesting take. You said Emma said this.
I didn't say it. She said it. You know what? While you guys talk, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just know that there's just so much negative to it, and it's been like a very much a rising problem, no pun intended.
You know what's funny? Actually, it's crazy. I'm gonna actually admit this on the internet, but when I was younger, like in my early teens, I would say like not necessarily the porn part, but like the the masturbation part. For me, it got to like I didn't do it all the time, but it was to a point that sometimes if I couldn't sleep, if I couldn't lay down and fall asleep immediately, rub one out, fall asleep immediately.
See,
That's weird. Like, is that like a regular thing?
Mine was an interesting one where I think I, like you with your creatine, I Pavlov's dog myself, where I would rub one out and then I would take a nap. Like, cause it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was when I got home from school and go on the phone, so I did it, and then I took my nap. And then, anytime I did it, I'd just immediately tired. I was like, what, I got things to do, but just every time I did it, I was just, it's fucking that time. So I think I fucked myself with that. Okay, but here's what it says. It says, research shows that pornography is correlated with physical changes in the brain. The visual stimulus of pornography hijacks the brain's reward system and overwhelms it with unnatural, prolonged dopamine levels. The result in the brain that results in the brain physically deteriorating in shape, size, and chemical balance. What the? That's
Okay, so
crazy.
if they analyze
How do I
our
still have a
brains-
brain?
Who do you think is the smallest?
Brain, right? We're talking about whose brain is the smallest.
That's interesting.
That's very, very interesting. That there's physical.
I'm curious too. What classifies as pornographic material? Like,
Interesting.
is
I think
it?
anything that is arousing to you that you.
But
would
so
get
could
off
it?
on.
So it could not be pornography if you had a specific fetish,
Yes. Like, does that
I
count?
guess.
Like, does it have to be nudity?
right? Like if I really like robots,
But it really depends on.
and I watched robots.
It has to be more specific on what about pornography destroys
I think
the brain cells.
it's the rewards.
Or
I
is
think
it
it's
you
the
get
dopamine
stimulated
levels.
from it?
Yeah, it's
But the reward from you finishing or you watching the pornography?
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
So
I
you're
think
saying you
okay,
watch it without completion.
that I think is a bigger problem. Like, who's just casually watching
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, straight up, I won't name names, but a relative of mine in a third world country, apparently he would come home from work, get his dinner, sit down with his bowl of dinner in front of the TV, and like watching a show for us, threw on porn. Didn't do anything. Didn't jerk it. Did nothing. Just watched his porn while he ate his dinner. His wife would bring him his food, and he just watched porn.
Yeah,
while
look
he
at
ate
this new episode of Blacked.
Do you think you'd be like, yo, the new season?
When I was told, I was like, that's crazy.
When they're shooting.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's what you said.
That's a motto. Yeah, that's a motto.
That's crazy. That'd be a sick sound bite.
Yo, Drake, hit me up. I'll sell that to you.
Yo, would you be hyped if that was like in an intro of a song?
Are you kidding me? I'd play that song for everyone. I don't care if I met
Would you be 80s too?
If you didn't know, that's me. I would 100%. I'd put that on my resume.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'll put a link to it on my resume.
Just the clip on YouTube so it only plays that part.
3 seconds, that's it. Yeah, I think that's great. Like, I didn't realize that there was a physical toll to it. I understand the psychological and, like, how you're talking about, like, how it affects your relationships and stuff. Like, I think it promotes an unhealthy...
expectation?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think, like, most...
Also makes you objectify other women. If you're
Or men.
Yeah, experiences that whenever there's a attractive woman, that there's instantly a chance or opportunity for you to have sex with them.
That's not the case?
For me, maybe not for you.
Yeah, I think it enhances that natural... Because I do think that's a natural instinct as well.
Yeah.
To procreate. But I do think it enhances it. I think you're right.
So...
Oh, no.
For you, like, is that why you watch a lot of Vince Vaughn stuff?
It's a natural reward system.
This guy's brain is mush. This guy's brain is watched Dodgeball 50 times. When it's done. That's crazy.
See, it's just rock hard. Watching all these...
Here comes
Dodge.
You know it creates an unnatural reward system. Unnatural reward
See,
system.
like, almost like change the channel 2 porn.
This is better. This is
It's
better.
like one of those like movies where I keep changing different channels to different Vince Vaughn movies. I'm like,
No, can't get away from it. Oh, that's crazy.
it's not what it looks like. I'm trying to change it to porn to make it less awkward.
You're like butt naked. You're like, babe, it's not what it looks like.
You know when, like, there's the whole thing where, like, guys are... Oh my god, what the hell? When they bust at the wrong time and it shows the guy's face. For you, is it like when it cuts to Owen Wilson and you finish it? No! It's not Vince Vaughn! It's not Owen Wilson!
And I'll just when I finish, I'm like, wow.
That's a great way to finish.
Ka-chow.
The fact that he's the voice of Lady McQueen's also phenomenal.
Just... Oh, right. He's not... Sorry.
It's because Ka-chow and Wow are so close.
Wow.
Are you? So the other addiction that's also more common right now is marijuana addiction. In comparison to that, I don't know if you noticed a trend. I noticed a trend with just our friends that more people are quitting alcohol to go cannabis.
Mm.
Yes.
But then people are living a cannabis addiction. The replacing of alcohol. So the question was there an alcohol addiction before?
Well, that's already a hot topic because so many people would argue that cannabis is non-addictive.
It is. 100%.
I'm with you.
Anything is addictive. Anything can be addictive.
Anything that generates some kind of reward.
You can find anything.
It's like, I think the core concept for porn is the same for anything that you're
it has to have a
addicted
dopamine level, right?
Yeah, that you
release.
get a reward for.
For me, it's
Yeah,
really because the way I see addiction is anything that leaves you with a withdrawal that makes you want, like, crave to come back to it would be an addiction.
Is there anything that you think someone would be addicted to that you would be like, that's fucking crazy?
I think there's a lot.
The first thing that came to mind.
Murder.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, that's a...
Yes, but okay, that's a good answer. The first thing I thought of was broccoli, but you're right.
On a scale of
I
1
actually
even.
like broccoli so much I want to get my hair permed to have a broccoli head.
It's great. I
I'll
just do
perm
that
it.
naturally.
I'll get it green and everything too.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, it is
You
sick.
can jerk off in the mirror because you're like, fucking broccoli, baby.
Any other addiction? I think addicted to working.
I think that's actually probably way more common than...
I think addicted to making money is, but I guess work you could kind of put hand in hand. You get to work to make money.
I'm trying to understand the reward system of the being addicted to working. Like, I don't think you're addicted to working. I think you're addicted to something else in there.
Well,
maybe just staying busy.
Is
being
that it?
Or it could be because depending on where you're... I would assume this is probably far more prevalent in the startup industry because the reward system is seeing your business and your infrastructure growing.
Yes.
And that's like tangible.
True, but even then, is it a reward system or is it like I need to do this to eat? Is it like a desperation?
No,
necessity
I would
rather
say
than,
yes.
I would say like with where I am in the earlier years, I like, especially when COVID hit. Like I worked, like I would say I was like addicted to work because it was like we were getting so much done and there was like a lot of progression, but I didn't feel like I didn't get paid anymore to do it. It just was rewarding seeing stuff happening. And again, I think that concept is far more startup than it is corporate. I don't think there's people in the corporate world that are like addicted, unless they're addicted to, you said, like if their input of work directly impacts like sales. I could see that being a case because the more you sell, the more you make.
So where do you think you draw the line of something that you're just really into versus addicted?
I think the withdrawal.
Yeah, like if
it being out of your control,
like where
or you're always thinking about it.
Yeah, where you don't have the capabilities of just dropping it when you need to. Like when you need to cut your losses.
What if you can cut it, but you're still thinking about it? Is that still?
I think that's the part of quitting, but I think eventually that fades. I do think addiction is if you can't stop, if physically can't stop thinking.
But then why are quitters frowned upon?
Why are quitters frowned? Who frowns upon quitters?
Well, people say like don't quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's don't quit like positive things.
I was just gonna ask, does there have to be a negative aspect to an addiction? I mean, I guess that leads into the next one.
No, because fitness addiction, I wouldn't say is an unhealthy addiction. It literally cannot.
In whose perspective, though? Like, what if you were so addicted to fitness that I felt like it was impacting our relationship? I was like, I can never hang out with you because you're always doing fitness shit.
You're always doing jujitsu.
Never have
Yeah, you're right though. There's a degree because if it consumes your life, that's a problem with anything though. But even you being a father.
So, I'm addicted to being a dad.
Hey, papi. Okay, but the other thing too though is fitness is a healthy addiction, but is it bad to have a healthy addiction because it's still an addiction? You see what I mean? Yeah. Because there's this compulsory need to do something beyond your control. Regardless of how healthy it is, that in itself is not a healthy
Is this a paradox?
Right?
I feel like it is because no matter what you substitute for, there's an addiction in place. If I substitute that workout to nap, and then I nap every day, and then I become reliant on napping, do I become addicted to napping in its place?
I love my naps.
You can have withdrawals. If you nap every day at the same time and you start reaching at that point, you feel tired.
Yes,
you are getting like that.
But is that a withdrawal or is that just your body? Or I guess
that's just your.
Are they one and the same then?
No. No, I think there's
pretty close.
Internal clock. You think just having an internal clock and habits?
Because your internal clock is telling you need to smoke.
Off of what you're doing.
I don't know if I'd call it an addiction though. There's got to be a
scientific definition for an addiction.
I'm on it.
Should have been like the first thing.
Should have been the first thing we did. Yeah,
that's the first thing. Should have been the first thing.
We'll tell you what we think our definition of addiction is.
I'm addicted to you.
Okay, do you want to give a guess on
an addiction?
No, just read it, man.
Yeah,
okay, it's the fact or condition of. I hate these things. It's a fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. So the definition of addicted is physically and mentally dependent on a particular substance and unable to stop taking it without
substance. It has to be
adverse effects.
It has to be a substance. You
can't.
That's
the
strange. No, because porn addiction is not a substance.
This is porn.
Definition from Oxford Languages.
Oh shit!
The only come. No, substance. I guess because porn itself, it's created.
Well,
it is a.
There's a lot of
defined substance.
There's a lot of substances in porn.
Defined substance.
Yeah. This is getting deep.
Yeah, physical material from which something is made or which has discrete existence.
Whoa, that's way too vague.
So that means everything substance, which is fair because you guess you could be addicted to anything.
I'm so frustrated.
Would you say you're addicted to air?
No.
I don't know about that.
No,
You would die. You would die
no,
without
that's
it.
crazy.
Is it not substance?
You would die without it.
I would say air is.
I suppose, based on the definition, physically and mentally dependent
You
on a
literally
particular
need.
substance
You literally need air so much.
and unable to stop taking it without incurring adverse effects.
Yeah, 100% you're addicted to air and blood.
I would almost
That's
say you're more.
So fascinating. So is the most common addiction on the planet oxygen?
I would even say that by definition, air is more applicable of something you can be addicted to than porn is. Because porn is less of a substance than air is.
So
Then
does
air
porn
is?
exist?
Air is. Huh?
Does porn exist?
It's actually all videos of me, but I've made it look like different people each time. I wear a different mask, different bodysuit.
You don't even put in that work. It's just you and a
Dude,
whole.
how do you think I cover 70% of the internet? I've been around for a long time, dude.
Oh boy, that's interesting. Looking at it through that.
Oh, so to get back to the marijuana part.
Sorry, yes.
We may jump back to there, but I sell cannabis as one of my jobs, and there are
Not
people.
legally, right?
There are not legally, no. Very legal through the government, in fact. And I have customers who come in daily, and their always thing to me is almost like we said, like, I'm not addicted to it. I can cut off at any time. But they'll always, the majority of them, the people who come in daily, are like, yeah, I used to be like an alcoholic. I quit it for weed. Now I'm no longer addicted to anything. And my first comment is, well, didn't just...
Yeah, that math didn't.
Now you're addicted to weed. But I feel like people who are addicted to weed cannot accept when they are. I feel like I had an addiction to weed for a long time. So I'm surprised that people can't see it.
I think it's hard to just admit addiction to anything. I feel like people might feel shame or...
There's signs of weakness.
Yes.
Really? But don't you have an internal... Like, for me, when I was consuming a lot, I knew, like, as I was doing it, I was like, I know I shouldn't be. I almost had that guilty conscience on myself that makes me stop every so often to cut off, because my first process is, I've done it now, like, 3 days in a row. Like, this is becoming a problem.
Would you get those revelations when you were doing it? You're like, fuck, I'm like stoned all the time.
Yes. Yeah, I would. I actually would.
Would you
Isn't
brush
that
it off
ironic?
as just a stoner thought, though?
I think
I just fucking ripped.
I think it would have kind of like the thought, like,
Is that your stoner?
That's my stoner voice.
Wait, what, sir?
we need to get ripped with this guy.
And he can sing. He
You sound like
he sings.
Is it Evan Almighty when Bruce Almighty was moving his lips on the camera?
That was Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, but I'm saying Bruce Almighty was moving Evan Almighty's
Yes.
lips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one was Morgan Freeman in that?
He's God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's just real life.
Yeah, that's real life. Morgan Freeman is our God. So where was I going with cannabis? Yeah, so like there'd be times where like I'd be unpacking my bong and be like, oh, I'm getting ripped again, and I'd just keep it. No, but
Fuck, boy, I could do something about this.
I was totally aware, but
Eating cereal there?
Yeah, he was so hungry because he ripped the bowl.
Oh.
but I always chose it like kind of like the lesser evil, where I was like, when I was like during my whole like weight loss journey, I was like, okay, the deal is like I can only smoke if I don't get junk food that day and I go to the gym. So that was like my reward system. So,
see, but that's
but here's the thing that justified it for me was I was addicted to all three of those things. I cut 2 to keep 1, and I can only have one of the 3 at any given day. That was my rule.
That's not bad.
But only because I had 3. If I had 0, I switched to 1. Very wrong practice. Where I just eliminated it, and then my relationship with marijuana changed like drastically throughout the years, where I can pick it up and drop it any time.
Your advice is have many poor decisions, so the more you cut out, the better you are.
Yeah.
So if you want to have one bad decision, have 3.
You can only go up from there.
Yeah.
Because once you're at rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. Only grabbing quantities of 3.
Yeah. That's the TSN turning point.
Yeah.
As they would say on TSN, obviously.
Not City TV.
No, but I think you should I think every person, especially users of cannabis, should cut your losses when you start developing problems from it. I can't go to sleep anymore without it. I can't feel emotion without it. Like
you gotta be pretty objective to realize those things, though. No, I feel like that's the hard part for these people.
I feel like the hard part too is like potentially the
no, go for it.
Is the part where cutting it out and then you go into the
withdrawal.
the withdrawal, like that probably is like a hard point for.
And there's like, this is just easier for me to get back into my routine.
Yeah, then like
for sure,
and like live that way than to fight through the withdrawals.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the biggest issue.
But I think most people with quitting, I think you can never quit the first time because you need to quit one time, know how bad the withdrawal is, get back on it, and be like, okay, I know next time what I'm prepared to for quitting. I've never seen anyone quit the first try. They've always gone through the withdrawal, know how bad it is, and prep to deal with that withdrawal for next time. Even for myself too, like I quit and I was like, I'm like so moody and snappy to everyone. I got back on it. Then like I know I need to prepare that that's going to be what happens to me when I quit. I'm gonna be moody when I have a withdrawal, so I have to prepare for that. And then it kind of helped me out better because I found different outlets. Like okay, those days like when I'm on my withdrawal, I'm really gonna hit it hard at the gym
and just watch a lot of porn.
Everything. Yeah, focus on my porn addiction. Enhance that 10 times.
There you go, man. It all balances out in the end.
Maybe it's just me.
Circle of life.
Like, even when
jerk.
Even when I was super big, I always realized I'm like gaining weight. I gotta cut it off. Like I always had that guilty conscience. Where some people, I feel like maybe they just don't. I don't really know. Is there any addiction that you guys had that you've cut off?
No, I don't think I've ever really had any addictions.
Jiu-jitsu, 100% is good.
Yeah, JJ.
Yeah, probably.
You had to give it up forcefully because of.
That's true. That's true, and I did
you
feel some
resent
withdrawals.
him.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, maybe it is jiu-jitsu.
You resent him now.
I can't wait till we go on for me to fight him.
I know we touched on it a little bit, but what about gaming addiction as a whole?
Nah.
Like,
Not gaming.
But do you think that's a problem? I think social media addiction and gaming addiction.
Social media is for sure.
I think any addiction can be a problem.
But which ones do you think are like more dominant now in this? Like,
more dominant now?
I say both.
Social. I think the most dominant ones now are social media, screens in general, sugar, porn, caffeine. Hey, obviously
all at the same time.
Obviously, I'm drunk. That just sounds like a great night.
Yeah, social media and caffeine together, especially, just all the time.
Yeah,
I see that.
That's everyday life.
And you know what's crazy? It's so modernly accepted. Like when I was on dating apps, majority of the bios I would read is like, you're like a caffeine addict. Like there'd be almost like a proud statement to have.
Yeah,
it's like the thing is like you're kind of not joking about it. It's like real.
Gotta have a Starbucks.
Or like I need
don't talk to me till I have one coffee.
Yeah, don't talk. But then you'd see that in stoners too, like, don't talk to me till I've at least had 2 bowls and a cigarette. I'm like, that's so unappealing.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have any vices like that like I can't function without. Like I know some people at work and stuff who are like, man, I gotta have, like I can't work, I don't have my coffee, I gotta have my coffee and just give me a cup of water, like I'm fine. There's nothing, like there's no day where I'm like, I can't function without this thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty happy about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Which is what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for not really having a vice.
What about Vice City?
That I'm not grateful for, but it is free on the PlayStation Store, so.
Is it right now?
And Netflix.
I'm pretty sure it's
Netflix has some good Nintendo games too.
What?
Sorry.
Netflix gaming?
I know they have games, but they have.
How do you even know that?
Yeah,
how do you play? How do you play it with your remote?
Never played it on remote. I never played it at all.
Actually, I have no idea. I just know they have it.
How that would work?
Yeah.
Do you have to have a controller? Or that?
Don't know the logistics of how it gets done.
I am grateful for transportation. Because I don't know where I'd be without it.
Oh. At home, probably.
Yeah, actually, it's a good point.
There you go. How did you not know that?
He wouldn't. Without transportation, he wouldn't have been able to move from his original home.
Yeah, correct.
He would still be near Saga.
So where would I be? Where art thou without transportation?
Define transportation.
Yep. To transport you from one...
You'd probably still be at the hospital that your mom gave birth to you in.
No, because you can't be transported outside the canal.
So dude, I'd be still inside a womb.
Whoa.
You would still be the same size, though.
Yeah.
So you'd just be wearing his mom as a jacket.
As a bucket hat.
Crazy.
Well, imagine that. Imagine a bucket hat that was just shaped like a pussy. Sounds like you're being born.
You know what?
That was pretty crazy.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put in my will that when I pass, I want to be made into as many bucket hats as grandkids I have. And they gotta wear my bucket hats.
Like your skin?
Yes. Like a leathery... And they'll have it, like one of them have like a nipple on the side.
No, the top part will be one of each butt cheek.
Butt cheeks? I'm gonna have a bunch of grandkids, man.
No, you're gonna have... But it's to the two like battle of the fittest, and the rest have to die. So only two grandkids are left.
Okay.
That's a cool ass will. I'm
Yo,
jealous.
but sorry, what about the whole... Can we get those? Can we get bucket hats that are like
Pussy
actually
hats?
pussies? So it's like you're being born? You know what I mean?
And like a little bit like the thigh, a bit, like kind of like the sex cells, like the quarter thigh is like sticking out like kind of like the ear flaps. But yo, you can clip them together. You can clip them together.
That's
Like
crazy.
those, like the winter
It
hats.
wouldn't be like the labia that you... That'd be crazy. That'd be
And then
crazy.
you can zip up the clothes.
For winter?
Yeah.
If it comes like that was called, yes.
Yo, this is crazy, dude. We gotta post this before someone steals this.
Yeah,
idea.
Yo, I'm addicted to that.
I'm grateful for this great idea.
I'm grateful I don't have a social media addiction.
That's weird.
He says as he scrolls. Bastard. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Hey.